So welcome back, and today we're going to take a look at the gradebook, as Google calls it, or the Markbook as most teachers would call it. And this is a powerful tool, not just for you collating results and tracking how students are performing, but also providing quick navigation through the various assignments that you've set on the classroom. The gradebook can be accessed by clicking on the Marks button at the top of your classroom, and you will get a large spreadsheet containing all of the marks. Down the side you have a list of all the students in alphabetical order, sorted by surname or first name as you prefer. And then along the top you have a list of all of the assignments that have been set so far. Scrolling to the right, we can see a lot of assignments that have been completed and marked. You've got the class average along the top. You've got the various scores down the right hand side. You've got comments if something was done late, comments if something was not handed in, a warning if a piece of work is missing, and for any of these you can go directly to that piece of work. So let's pick on Martha again and say that I want to have a look at this piece of work. I can click on this, view submission, and I have that assignment loaded in the window for me to have a look at. As another example, let's have a look at Amelia's. Now a quick tip here, this was a Google form. You'll notice that this is currently the raw form. If you want to see the answers from a particular student, click on this pop-out icon and that will give you the responses for the form for that particular student. Scrolling to the left, you can see particular topics that were only assigned to a subset of students here. So C3L6, only a few students were subscribed to that and not assigned for those students who didn't do it. For an activity where the mark scheme was set as unmarked, the Markbook merely keeps track of whether or not the homework has been handed in or not. You can see here a couple of pieces of work that have not yet been marked, so hence we have the blank score out of 100. And for any of these I can go directly to the assignment by clicking at the top, and this will let me see which ones have been marked and which ones have been handed in but not yet marked, and if there are any that have still not been completed. In this case 57 have been marked, 5 of them have been handed in but not remarked, none still to come in. Back in the gradebook, if I want to edit directly, I can go straight to the edit function for a particular task, and if the scores have not yet been released, I can, if I wish, release those scores directly from the Markbook, although if scores have already been released, there will not be the option to return all scores. For a bookmark, you may be told to submit evidence for a particular student. Well, if your boss or whoever is doing the work trawl is given access to this gradebook, they can click on the person they're interested in. They can click directly on the name, and that brings up a list of all of the work that they have handed in, with scores where appropriate. And again, clicking on any of these titles will allow you to look directly at their work, like so. So that is very useful where you want to have a deep look at a particular student's work, easily accessed there via the Markbook. The one other thing that it's worth pointing out is this overall mark column here down the left hand side, and that can be set up in a few ways. So having a look at the settings for the gradebook, up here the cog icon, you can either set it to have no overall mark, a total points mark, or weighted by category. And I've decided to weight by category, which is the most complicated option, and I've done it as follows. I've generated 3 mark categories, and I have assigned them the following percentages: 56%, 29% and 15%. These percentages must add up to 100%. And this means very roughly the topic test category is worth twice as much as the homework category, and the end of year test is worth about twice as much as the end of topic test category. You can add as many mark categories as you see fit. And the final score that is given here is weighted as you have set in those categories. And you can see at the top here that this is the end of topic test category. That is not been assigned to a category. This is the homework category. Homework, 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 end of year test, and so on. And the way you set that for a particular assignment, when you initially generate your assignment under mark category, you will have a list of all of the categories that you have already set. So you must set these first in the Markbook, and then these will appear here. I'll show you how to do that very quickly on the dummy classroom. So here we are on AGS Google Class for Beginners. Down in the settings, weighted by category, add mark category, generate your categories, decide on the weighting that you want. Notice that it keeps track of the remaining percentage. So here I have assigned the 4 different categories that I'm interested in. Save that, and then when you create an assignment, those 4 categories appear here that I can choose. This is just going to be an essay, and fill in the details as you see fit. If you decide halfway through the year that you suddenly want to start using these, you can of course go to your gradebook, edit the particular assignment and select the category, and it will now say that's in the essays category there. Complete this process for a few assignments and it will calculate an overall mark for the student here. Just a quick word on how that averaging works. It's important to note that the weighting doesn't happen on every individual assignment that you set. What the gradebook does is it takes the average for a particular category and then it weights those. So let's say you've set 8 homework assignments, each one with a slightly different total. It calculates the percentage score for each of those and gives the average percentage for the homework. 3 topic tests, each with a different score. Again, it works out the average percentage for the topic test, and only 1 end of year exam. So the percentage there is the percentage from the end of year exam. It then weights that average percentage by the weightings that you've given. So in this example, homework at 25%, 78% times 0.25, 83% times 0.35, 68% times 0.4 gives 76% overall. So it's not that an individual topic test is worth about 1.5 times a particular homework. It is that the topic test category is worth 1.5 times the homework category. And that may affect the weightings that you give to the various different categories if you wish to use this. Well, that was a quick introduction to the gradebook and the power. I find it extremely useful, not just for keeping an eye on students who are constantly failing to hand in work or hand it in late or scoring poorly, but also the fact it provides very quick navigation through all of the different assignments that you have set, and also allows you to select a particular student and view all of their work. Hope that was useful. Thank you.